SharePoint Content Organizer. Now, here we are in the International Training site, and we have accessed the site settings through the cog, and then we have gone into the site features. Now, there are a lot of site features available here. Anything with the blue means it is already active and functioning. The Content Organizer, when I activate this, will actually create a new document library called the drop-off library. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to activate that, and it'll take a second. Now, occasionally you have to click it more than once. And it is going to go into SQL and set up a new table. It's going to activate some new features. It will create here a new entry. So I'm going to pause the recording while this is functioning. Now it has completed, and here's the drop-off library. Now, to work with this and see its full functionality, I'm going to create two additional document libraries. I'm going to go to Site Contents and add an app. This is going to be just a document library, and I'm going to call this Projects. I'm going to add another one, Document Library, and I'm going to call this one White Papers. Now, when the Content Organizer is enabled, you have to direct staff, when they upload, to upload here. And it will be up to the Content Organizer to review the upload and determine where it should be routed to. Now, let's go in and tell the Content Organizer what we're looking for and where to send it. So we're going to go to the gear or the cog and down to Site Settings. Now, when we turned on the feature, we did this, Manage Site Features, but now at the site, we're going to go into the Site Administration and the rules. The rules will be the rationale for moving components. So what we need to do is create a new item, or a new rule, as the case may be. Now we wait a moment until this opens. I may have to intermittently pause things. Now the first rule is move to white papers. It's active. Now, what sort of priority? If your Content Organizer has multiple rules, the rule with the highest priority will be applied to documents first, and they will be routed. So we're going to set this one to medium. Now, the content type is just going to be based on regular documents. And again, just a document. Nothing special. So when someone uploads a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet, it falls under this classification. Now, when this happens to the drop-off library, the condition for what will be evaluated. And I'm going to say the title. The title contains all of. The value, white. I could add another condition. The title contains all of the value, paper. Now, if the new document being uploaded meets either of those conditions, then where do you want to send it? Well, let's browse. Now, this should show us all of the locations, notice, within our current site, and we're looking for white papers. So this is where we want to send it. And then we say OK. Now that's the first rule. But there's actually another rule that we we need to set this up that has a higher priority. So, new item, projects, redirect. The name actually doesn't make any difference. It's the name of the rule. And this is going to be the highest priority. It's going to be based on documents and plain documents, not forms or anything else. And it's going to be based on the title of the document contains the words project. Now, we're going to add another condition. The title contains government. And another condition, if the title contains all of the phrase research, spelling does count, then we're going to move it, or I shouldn't say we are, the content organizer will go ahead and move it into projects. So, we have two rules, several conditions attached to the drop-off library. So let's do the following. Let's go into the drop-off library. There are no documents here. So let's upload a document. Let's go to Files, Upload a Document. Now it doesn't matter what kind of document. Please take note of the Content Organizer label. And we browse. And let's just do a simple document. Now this is going to ask us for a title. And the Content Organizer is monitoring all of this. So we're going to call this Government Research for our projects. Now, will those phrases, words, match a rule for the Content Organizer? And the answer should be yes. So let's go ahead and submit that. Now we're in the drop-off library and we've submitted it. Now notice what happened. It didn't save it here. It moved it. It moved it to projects. So we say OK. Now let's upload another document. And we browse. And let's find, this one. Now when we enter a title, right, now the title right now is first letterhead. We're going to change that to White Paper Development and submit it. Oh, didn't save here. It's been moved to white papers based upon that criteria. Now this is the Content Organizer. You have to turn on the feature, establish the rules, tell your users to use the drop-off library. So our documents have been rerouted to white papers and to projects. Now there is another way of doing that, and the other way of doing it is through a workflow. Workflows require other components actually outside of SharePoint, i.e. Visual Studio, or you can go and get the SharePoint Designer. That application is free and it will also be used to route as well.